Visit Kenya and you'll be drawn by its stunning scenery and exotic wildlife. But for those living in Kenya, life is very different. Anyone arrested in the country is at risk of torture or ill treatment, and police routinely beat criminal suspects. Kenya has long been viewed as a stable country in a continent ravaged by crisis. But the people of Kenya have paid a high price for almost 20 years of political continuity that President Moi has presided over. And in the run-up to the elections, repression of ordinary civilians is on the increase, and the very stability of Kenya is being threatened. In June this year, Amnesty International launched its Manifesto for Human Rights in Kenya. Secretary-General Pierre Sane asked Kenyans about their government's human rights record.
Now let me ask you a question to you people of Kenya. Do you think that your human rights are being violated?
Yes.
Now, when an organization like Amnesty International says that in Kenya, human rights are being violated, the government says, we want to tarnish the reputation of Kenya. But who is tarnishing the reputation of Kenya? You see?
Frequent police brutality goes largely unpunished, as hundreds of Kenyans have been killed by police in recent years. Some victims have died in police custody as a result of torture, while others have simply been shot dead. Criminal suspects are not the only targets of repression. Those who criticize the government are regularly harassed, arbitrarily arrested, interrogated and tortured. Murugi Kariuki is a human rights lawyer in Kenya.
I have, as a result of my work, been detained for a total of 1,984 days. A threat has also been issued on my life. In 1995, there was an attempt to kill me by using a military truck on my way home one evening.
Maina Kiai, Executive Director of the Kenya Human Rights Commission, travelled to Lodwar, a remote area in northwest Kenya, with Amnesty International's delegation to meet local human rights defenders.
We wanted to, first of all, see for ourselves what exactly is going on specific cases of violations where people have died in the hands of police while in custody of the police, and see what the progress has been on those cases. And second, and also very important, was to express solidarity with the people of Lodwar and people of Turkana in their struggles and issues that are going on, including civic education, harassment of the Catholic Church.
Lodwar is where Amadoi Achaka Anamilam is buried. He was wrongly arrested last year by the police and kicked and brutally beaten with a stick and gun butts all over his body. According to reports, the police also tried to strangle him with his own beads. He later died in custody. Civic education seminars informing Kenyans of their rights have been violently disbanded in the pre-election period. Catholic justice and peace worker Peter Kiyama witnessed the police breakup of one of their seminars in April.
So they managed to arrest 3 teachers who had been participants. And when they got them, they beat them up and locked them in a toilet in the DO's office. And that's where they stayed until around 7 p.m. So the priest, the parish priest there, and the sisters, there were 3, they went to the DO and said, now, we called for this workshop. We are the one responsible for anything that happens here. So if there's anybody to put in, it is me, the parish priest, and these 3 sisters. Put us in, get the guys out. So there was a bit of exchange and some dialogue also. So eventually they were released, only for them to start beating them again the following day.
With elections fast approaching, aspiring candidates have received threats and little protection from the authorities. Rhoda Fadell, a grassroots women's activist, has been harassed and threatened with rape because of her wish to stand as a candidate.
I'm aspiring for a parliamentary seat in 1997. So that's why I'm being harassed by the local politician. Because of all these harassments of rape, being stoned, and also now they are attaching me with the robbery with violence. They want to bring me to court so that the time of campaign comes, I am disqualified, because if you have a case against you, you can't contest. I think that is the aim. But this is, I feel my life is therefore endangered in this place.
Political unrest is becoming more and more common. Pro-democracy rallies calling for reform, like this recent demonstration in Nairobi, have been violently broken up, and a number of people have been killed. Amnesty International believes that only national and international pressure will force the government to change its ways.
An organization like Amnesty holds the government accountable at the international level. It is important for the people to hold them accountable at the local level. It is this double accountability that will force the governments, all governments, to implement what they have committed themselves to.
For too long, Kenyans have suffered systematic repression. They are now demanding change, and human rights defenders from many walks of life are calling for reform. Responsibility lies with governments and citizens around the world to actively support them.